was doing my national service at the time, working at the University of Ghana, and my role was primarily administrative. And I just come out of school doing a research work for my final year, so I was hoping to improve upon my research skills. I just heard about it from a friend, and then a year later, I saw a social media post, and that was when I put in my application. What felt different for me was that it was remote and it was open to students and recent graduates, because at the time I would typically analyze opportunities very systematically and be like, this is not for me, because I just did not think I had the qualities. But then this hire for impact gave me the opportunity to actually feel like I could qualify with my entry level qualities. I was excited and nervous at the same time because the time zone was the same as that of Ghana, so I didn't really have a problem with time zone. But then I also had a full-time responsibility to my national service role, and so I went for it and pushed myself to manage my time in order to balance both very well. The first few weeks were more of onboarding and getting acquainted with the research I was going to be assisting with. And I had to adapt balancing my work schedule and I guess the new role, making sure that my check-in meetings would not affect my responsibility at my national service workplace, and just adjusting my schedule because I decided to put most of the research work during my after hours. And so I would make sure that when I go to work, I have my full attention at work. And then when I come back home, I would be able to work on whatever assignments I had in relation to my research role. So during my time there, I was involved in data entry and conducting systematic literature reviews. And my day-to-day would look like reading through papers and extracting data that was relevant for the finance research I was conducting. And then beyond the individual tasks as well, I supported the recruitment of interns at a point. So it was fulfilling, not just like doing my own work, but then supporting Hire for Impact to be able to recruit more people, coordinate and build a wider group. And so I conducted interviews. I went through CVs and cover letters, and that was also a learning process for me because I wasn't just learning how to be part of a team, but then how to also expand the team. The skills I had that I didn't have before. So I'd say multitasking, and I built assertiveness just because I had to balance two completely different roles. And through that, I've been able to take on more responsibility moving further in my career because I learned to be able to balance my time very well, making sure that there was no discrepancy merging both. And at the same time, I've also learned to speak up and take ownership, especially because I had to ask a lot of questions during the time I was working as a research assistant, just to make sure that I meet every expectation and understood whatever I was assigned to do. Well, I never really thought I would be able to work two jobs because going through university and growing up, I had just put it in my mind that you just need to put your mind to one particular thing and get it done. But then after experiencing this role, I realized that I could actually work multiple jobs. So I'd say, at least for me, one thing I've learned now is building a work plan does not necessarily mean having just one particular job or having one source of income. And so personally, the experience has just opened me up to being able to handle multiple things at the same time while making sure that each receives the attention it deserves. And so even if I decide to build my own side business, or I decide to assist another organization while working a full-time role, I would know how to balance both sides. I'd say to employers that they should look to offer the platforms for students and entry-level professionals to have access to these opportunities and learn. Once you see the person is willing to learn and willing to adapt and has the motivation to be a part of your organization, you should give them a chance, because otherwise I wouldn't have had that chance, because I didn't necessarily have all the research experience when I applied. And also build some forms of incentives to be able to support them to be motivated more. And then for candidates, I would say there's no harm trying. Just put in your application, take that step. You could land an interview and then learn something you didn't know about yourself and do better in the next application. And so don't put down yourself saying you're not willing or you're not ready based on the qualities that are there, but then make sure that whatever you are writing is transferable. So make sure that you have transferable skills that you can be able to leverage to use on these opportunities.